What happens after death? Is an important question that has haunted the human mind since ancient times. Some believed in the existence of another world after death. In various cultures, people thought that their gods, whom they had believed in until then, would come and raise them up, promising an afterlife. Conversely, some believed in returning to Earth after death. Some rulers thought that they could come back to this world with the help of their god and rule again. There are people who thought like that. As part of this, mummification, the practice of preserving dead bodies intact, began. When we hear mummy, our minds often turn to Egypt. Certain pharaohs believed in their primary deity, Amandra, as a dual entity who would resurrect them from the death and allow them to return to Earth, ruling once more as pharaoh. Many such beliefs have prompted humans to preserve dead bodies since ancient times. As mentioned earlier, when we say mummy, our thoughts often turn to movies from the Mummy series, which are related to the mummies of pharaohs in Egypt. Contrary to popular belief, it was not Egypt that pioneered mummification. There are cultures in the world that began mummifying almost 2,000 years before the Egyptians. This video series explores some of the weirdest mummies and the peculiar incidents associated with them. As mentioned before, the intentional practice of mummifying dead bodies did not originate in Egyptian culture. On another continent, a specific group of people in Chile, South America, began mummification almost 2,000 years before the Egyptians, approximately 9,000 years ago. Not the most ancient of mummified bodies have been discovered in South America. The oldest, deliberately mummified bodies from such rituals have been found in the country of Chile, in South America. In addition to that, many naturally mummified corpses have been discovered in various parts of the world, including bodies preserved within ice. Now, let's turn our attention directly to Chile. There is a culture known as Chinchorro, believed to have existed almost 9,000 years ago. This culture thrived in parts of northern Chile along the Pacific coast until approximately 5,000 years ago. They were the fishermen, known as a coastal people. The majority of their diet consisted of seafood and fish. When there was an earthquake in 1917, some of the rocks here broke, some hills collapsed, and we discovered mummified corpses in the aftermath. However, they did not practice mummification as we have learned thus far. In many other cultures, mummification was reserved for honoring only the elite of society. Only they were qualified to undergo the mummification process, resulting in preserved bodies after death. But the Chinchorro people mummified individuals from all walks of their tribe, including nobles, commoners, men, women, and children. When we studied the few mummies we have now, we realized that their mummification process differed from that of the Egyptians. After a person's death, they would first remove the head, 2 arms, and legs from the main body. Then the skin has to be removed, followed by the flesh. Finally, the skin was reattached. Only the women had the expertise to carry out this delicate task. Then these parts are smoked separately and dried. This was done to eliminate all the water from the body. At this stage, the skull is broken and removed along with everything inside, including the brain. Following this, the disassembled body parts are reassembled, using pieces of wood as support to maintain straightness in the hands and feet. Now, the separated parts are reassembled, and the shape of the dead body may have changed. The skull, having been removed and the brain extracted, all the parts were restored using a paste that remains unfamiliar to us until today. In addition to this, they added clay, feathers of birds, and various other materials to different parts of the body. By incorporating all these elements, they were buried in an approximate shape. Remember, they were doing this 9,000 years ago. The bodies that were mummified by the Unveiling were exceptionally preserved due to their unique burial method. These bodies were placed among many rocks underground, specifically in warm locations. In summary, a combination of nature and their specific techniques worked together to keep their bodies intact for such an extended period. Their technology was not as advanced as the Egyptians, so the Chinchorro mummies we found near the Peruvian border in northern Chile are not in good shape. Right next to this, we have discovered a renowned mummy just inside the border of Peru. It's the mummy of a 20-year-old girl, approximately 1,700 years old, belonging to the Morcha culture. However, this girl's body was not purposefully mummified like the Chinchorro people did. It occurred naturally. However, what makes this discovery even more intriguing is that this girl was the wife or daughter of a significant individual within the Morch class. That's why they buried her with great ceremony, as there are valuable items accompanying her that were significant to them at that time. She possessed numerous belongings, including a large crown and expensive clothing, indicating her prominence. Moreover, these people had a distinctive practice, tattooing the body after death. We can still clearly observe the tattoos on this girl's body. This mummy is known as the Lady of Chow. Now, the researchers who studied this mummy realized that it was a girl of around 20 years old. This young woman passed away due to complications related to pregnancy, specifically pregnancy at a very young age. Beyond the cultural and historical insights provided by this burial, the Lady of Chow also bears witness to a unique post-mortem practice, the tattooing of the deceased. Even today, we can clearly observe these tattoos on her well-preserved body. In essence, the story of the Lady of Chow and the diverse mummification practices across cultures illuminate the rich tapestry of human history and the fascinating ways in which ancient societies approach death and the afterlife.